Alright, so welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now a new trading week is approaching and I just want us to spend some little time to look into the potential trading setups that price will present to us for the upcoming trading week. Okay, so without wasting much time, today I'm going to start with GBPUSD and I'm going to start from the daily time frame. Okay, now if you're not subscribed, do what to subscribe. Okay, now daily on GBPUSD we are super bullish, okay, with this break of structure to the top and currently price reacting from this beautiful point of interest down here. Okay, so the daily is telling you that we have the tendency to reach to at least this highs. Okay, but then within the internal structure, okay, down here we can see that we are also bearish. We have this beautiful high which created this low over here, and we are looking at this one also which created this one. Okay, very simple. So in as much as we are sitting on a bullish daily structure, the internal structure is also showing a bearish vibe. Okay, so right in here I'm gonna mark this point of interest, okay, as my last point. It means that the moment this guy breaks, we are setting to reach those daily highs. Okay, now right in here I'm going to define what my internal structure is saying just within this high and this low, so I can step onto the H4 time frame and do just that. Okay, now clearly on the H4 we all can see that we've had a beautiful high that created this low, okay, after breaking structure like this, and this is also my new high which has created this beautiful low. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to put a line right in here to define my current move to the downside, like this last internal high that created the low. The reason is because I understand that we need to tackle price action one by one, okay, bit by bit. It means that if we don't break this high, there is no way we are going to get to this level in here, or this point of interest in here. And you can see that we are dealing with a bearish story right inside this internal structure. So this story here is trying to say that we have the tendency to push to the downside. In as much as the daily is giving us like a bullish vibe, these internal structures are also telling us that we can sell to the downside. Okay, but not just that, the internal story, the internal structure within this last internal high to low is also telling us a different story. Okay, so right in here if you watch, we can see a break to the top. So we have this low that created this beautiful high, and we had this low also which created this high, and currently we are looking at this last low which created this high. So you can see what the internal structure within the main internal structure is also doing. Even though we are bearish, internal structure is giving us that bearish. Let me do it this way. So daily is bullish, H4 is bearish. Within the H4 structure we also have bearish internal structure, and within this last bearish structure from the H4, the internal structures in there are also giving us a bullish vibe. So what it means is that we can have a situation where price will respect this last low over here and push to the top to break. What it also means is that if we don't break this low, we will never come here. So now what do? I will quickly mark this last low over here and see what price is likely to do. Okay, now standing right here on the H4 time frame, we will see that this is the low, this low right in here that led to the break of this last high that we are seeing. Not just that, there is something that I call a hidden POI, which is this guy over here. Okay, if we go to H1 time frame, we are going to see that this POI is actually an indecision candle, okay, which will also serve as a decisional point of interest like this. Okay, so I have these 2 points of interest right in here telling me that price is most likely going to respect this guy and push to the top. Okay, now this is how I'll be looking at this point of interest. First things first, I'm going to step onto intraday. Even though this story has been established that price can respect this point of interest and push to the top, or we can have a situation where price will just fail in this decisional POI and drop down to this origin before we can make the move to the top. But truth be told, I wouldn't be happy to see price come into this PUY. The reason is because this PUY, if you watch closely, it confluences with the Asian low. So if price comes down, there is a higher tendency that we're going to take it out nicely. Okay, so I don't want to see there. Personally, I would like to see price respect this guy and still move. Okay, so now let me step on to intraday, which is M15, and show you the likely setups that I am looking for. Okay, so right in here, I had this point of interest, which I was looking at from the previous week. I had this break over here internally, and I also had this nice one over here. And so I had this PUY marked, this one. I had a PUY marked down here like this, and that is where price is tapping currently. Okay, if I take you to my current chart, you're going to see the same thing. This was the PUY that I was looking at. Okay, so once price has tapped in here, this is what I'm going to do. First things first, when the market opens on Sunday or Monday, when I come onto the chart, in as much as we are tapping into the first decisional PUY and we've tapped into the origin of this internal structure, and I'm looking for like a buy story, okay, I will not just start looking for buys, no, because there are two scenarios that can happen. First of all, I will have this line over here, okay, marked nicely. The reason why I am marking this guy is because if you go to M5, it is actually like the last momentum point. Okay, I mean on M5 you're going to see this wick that made this low. We have this guy which pulled down, and this is the last high that made the low. So you can see that we have this beautiful last checkpoint of momentum. Okay, so what I want to see before I can engage in any buy is that I want to see price, that is if price wants to respect this guy immediately, I want to see price go above this guy, this high over here. And then once we have gone past this high, I will now start looking for what opportunities to buy to the top. Okay, and another thing is that even though I can see this last point over here, this guy together with this guy, they formed what we call liquidity. Okay, so equal highs. So if I get any buys from here, I am quite certain that we are going to break to the top, take out this liquidity, and then get to this final target liquidity which we are looking at. Okay, that's the first scenario that I'll be looking at on GBPUSD. Second scenario is that instead of waiting for price to take out this guy, we can also have a scenario where this previous day's low, this is a previous day low from Thursday. Okay, so that is Thursday's low. Where is it? PVD, yeah. So this previous day's low will be taken out nicely. Okay, which means that this PUY here will not hold, but we will still have our eyes on this main decisional PUY. Okay, so real quick, what I want to see is that we can also have a situation, which is the second scenario, price will take out this low. Okay, then right after taking out this low, we will now have an opportunity to look forward counter trend trades to the top. Now we have to make sure that when price takes out this low, it is still sitting inside this PUY. It shouldn't break. The moment this PUY breaks, probably the story will change. Okay, I'll be looking for now price to start dropping. The moment this decisional breaks, honestly, I'm looking for price to drop. But when we respect this guy, but most likely take out this low, I'll be expecting that move to the top nicely. Okay, so this is the scenario that I'll be looking at on GBPUSD. A buy story, but I want to see price go up here, retrace down, then I can start looking for buys. Or we open the market on Sunday, by Monday we've taken out this low, still inside this decisional PUY, and we want to take a move to the top. Like I said, in as much as we are looking at this decisional PUY to hold, it doesn't mean that price can't come down here. We can have price coming down here, but I will not be so happy with it, because the moment price comes down, we are most likely going to take out these lows because of what? Asian session low. Not just that, we can see equal lows also there, right? So that is what I'll be looking at on GBPUSD. Now to my favorite guy, which is EURUSD. Now EURUSD also has a similar story. Now if I take you to the H4 time frame, you're going to see something nice. You realize that Euro USD is pushing down with this last high and this last low, okay? And currently we have this beautiful PUY from the H4 which hasn't been tapped in yet. So this guy over here is acting as a target liquidity. Why? Is because we've had an internal change of intent, like a bullish one inside the bearish move, okay? And we still have more room to the top for price to tap into the PUY. So this guy is going to act as a target liquidity, okay? Super simple. Now once I have this, we can currently see that price has tapped into this PUY. Now don't be confused. This target liquidity that I marked over here, this one that I'm showing over here, is for this bearish move to the downside. And if I go to the daily time frame like this, you realize that price has already tapped into this PUY here. Okay, we tapped into this PUY, which means that we are having this tendency to move downwards. Okay, so that is why I marked that. But if you come to H4 and you refine your PUY, you're going to have that line over there, which means price has more room to the top. And we have just made an internal break of structure, like a change of intent, which means that we can make a retracement at least into this guy and see if this guy will hold or we are going to break. Very simple. Okay, so right now I'm going to have this last low over here and this last high over here as my watch leg. Very simple. That will be my focus leg. Okay, now I can step onto the next time frame, which is my H1. Now this is what I saw. That is why I was saying that I'll break down GBPUSD first. So first thing is that within this bullish push to the top, I can see this last low that created the last high taking out right in here. Then we retraced a little, we made a fake out, and then this guy over here created this low. But currently, as we are talking, this guy has been taken out. Now 2 points of interest contributed to this break of structure over here. The first one is this last one over here, this low over here, okay, which is the origin PUY, and the second one is this guy over here as well, which is acting as a decisional PUY. But again, you are going to see that this decisional PUY is also having the Asian low right below. Not just that, we also have liquidity built up. Okay, so I am not so confident with this PUY holding. Trust me. What I will expect most of the times in certain scenarios like this is I would like to see price push down and induce this PUY, okay, this decisional PUY. I would like to see price induce it, and then we can now move. Now when price decides to push down a little, you will realize that it is going to be aligning with the GU story, which means that GU is also likely going to what? Move to the downside and break this previous low. So you see how I use these two pairs hand in hand, okay, the correlation between these two guys. Okay, so me personally, I would like to see price take out this low, and then we will now start looking for buys, like induce the Asian low, then we now start looking for buys. Okay, or better still, we can have a scenario where price will not take out the low, it will still respect this same guy over here. Okay, I mean, we are going to respect the PUY, we're not going to take it out, and then we are going to wait for price. So let me go to like intraday. We are going to wait for price to take out this guy. After taking out this guy, we wait for a retracement, and then we now capitalize on the moves to the top. Very simple. So that is how I'll be treating Euro USD. Either we come down to induce the Asian low nicely, then we can now start looking for buys, or price to respect this decisional PUY, and then we break, wait for the retracement, then we now start looking for buys to the top. Okay, now when price is moving to the top, likelihood is you're going to take out this high. Very simple. Now you're going to ask yourself, why is this PUY sitting here? It's simply because if you watch this move to the downside, like this push to the downside, okay, this guy over here is going to be an origin PUY, and this is going to be a decisional PUY. Currently we have price tapping into this guy. So what is it trying to tell you? It's trying to tell you that we are having like some kind of bearish story to the downside. So you realize that it is giving two vibes, like either a bullish or a bearish story. So we need to make sure that we are sitting at the right spot before we can capitalize on whatever price we'll do. Okay, that is why we need to wait for at least this guy to break. That is, if we are respecting this guy, we need to wait for that to break and then retrace, and then we can now capitalize on the buy, or price come down, induce this guy just like I said, and then we can have the move to the top. So this is what I'll be looking at on EURUSD and GBPUSD. Okay, super simple. You don't need to stress. All right, so if you're not subscribed to this channel, do also hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on future important videos like this one. Okay, so have a peaceful week, and I'll see you within the week with another insightful video. Cheers.